Hello and welcome to Rajya Sabha Television with me, Frank Pereira. Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Akhilesh Yadav's victory over his father and Samajwadi Party founder Singh Yadav for the party's name and its cycle symbol has allowed him to formally start the process of alliance formation. There is much talk of a grand alliance like the one that was formed in Bihar in 2015, but there is no formal announcement yet. The contest is going to be a multi-cornered one in Uttar Pradesh with votes in a three-way split between the Samajwadi Party alliance, the Bahujan Samaj Party and the Bharatiya Janata Party. Most opinion polls have projected favourable results for a united Samajwadi Party and the Bharatiya Janata Party. Polls say that Dalit votes are sure for Mayawati's BSP, while adding that the BJP is sure to rope in the upper class and other backward classes in the state. The Samajwadi Party enjoys the support of the Yadav community. Analysts believe that the party that ropes in the minority vote will eventually have the last say. On this edition of The Big Picture, we'll take a closer look at how the political parties stand in Uttar Pradesh. Joining me on the program today are Vipul Mudgal, Director and Chief Executive Common Cause, Ashok Tandon, Senior Journalist, Anila Singh, Spokesperson of the BJP, and Mohammad Ali Khan, Spokesperson of the Congress. Thank you so much for joining me on the program, my panelists. Mr. Tandon, I'd like to start with you, of course, and ask you, what are the factors do you believe that are going to influence these polls in Uttar Pradesh, and what's going to be that one single most important factor?
See, most probably when there are state elections, state issues, the local issues dominated. Until the war between father and the son began, the core issue in the UP elections was the law and order in Uttar Pradesh under Akhilesh. Now, I have a feeling that by having this shadow boxing between the family, they have been able to some extent, deviate attention from the core issue that was law and order. To that extent, I would say that Akhilesh has got the advantage, because by the time BJP and the BSP try to bring that issue again on the focus, it's too late. Having said that, see, the BJP is contesting this election on the plank of Narendra Modi and his achievements as the leader at the center. They have not projected any local leader, but their main attack will be on the law and order again against Akhilesh, plus their own pro-development agenda, which they are promising that if they come to power, they will repeat what Modi is doing at the center. As far as BSP is concerned, see, as I said initially, she was also attacking Akhilesh on the law and order issue. But in between, the issue got lost somewhere, and I think that has put her to some disadvantage. I am not sure whether BJP as well as BSP would be able to bring the law and order issue back on the front burner. But as things stand today, the alliance which the Akhilesh party is trying to forge will also give them advantage, because the other vote cutters like in the western UP, Ajit Singh, and Congress to some extent will be part of this alliance. Now, if that happens, certainly the main loser in the overall picture as things stand today may be Mayawati, because she will be left only with the Dalit vote. Earlier, when she won absolute majority, it was Dalit plus Muslim to a great extent. So therefore, it is most likely scenario. It is, of course, going to be a three-counter contest. But the fourth corner, which was there in the earlier election, including 2019 Lok Sabha election, Congress party. So whatever may be the Congress party's percentage of votes, 9% or something, no, that will give an edge to Akhilesh and his alliance, if that happens. But I'm not very sure on the number of seats, whether a national party like Congress will be conceding a much less number of seats. And if they do, I think they have somehow realization they are fighting for the survival. Okay. Which is very unfortunate. A state in which Congress has given 4 prime ministers, and from where the core leadership is still contesting, they will be relegated to a poor B team in Uttar Pradesh. It was a different ball game in Bihar, but here, UP, where Congress has been ruling for a very long time. So therefore, number of seats, whether they will accept from Akhilesh, I am not very sure. But as things stand today, BJP, because of its 2014 performance, and plus still intact the image of Narendra Modi, I think it will be a very keen contest between BJP and whereas the alliance led by Akhilesh, where with the BSP still struggling to make its presence as a close third contestant.
Vipul Mudgal, does the BJP stand to lose if it goes by its strategy of 2014? Like Mr. Tandon rightly pointed out, UP election, a state election is very different from a general election. So, the BJP does not have a chief ministerial face. Wherever the BJP has announced a chief ministerial face, it has done extremely well. The most recent example being Assam. So, how do you see the BJP, faring in these elections?
You see, the development card of BJP has been ceded to Akhilesh Yadav right now. He is standing on the development plank. There is no doubt about it. The optics are with him. The perception is with him. The positive impression is with him right now. You see, the law and order, which was the only weak point and which was probably the election plank of everybody against him, is not working this time for the simple reason. You yourself go and see in cities like Agra and Kanpur, which were known for antisocial activities, you have 50, 60 Innovas. They are quite visible. And the police written on that, and they go on calls and things like that. And one of the sticking points of the fight with the Amar Singh and uncle and father camp was also the fact that they wanted tickets to be given to certain strong men from the Muslim community. So he stuck to his ground and he emerged from the shadows of his father. So I think that law and order this time is not going to work as much as it did in the past. But having said that, I am not suggesting that law and order in UP is euphoric or anything. But at the same time, if you ask somebody, say an industrialist, that do you get electricity? You will certainly be told that we get definitely a lot more than we ever got. Even people in Gorakhpur and the most backward areas of eastern UP are saying that we are getting overnight electricity. So the development card is gone. Now the second is the caste card. So caste card, we all know that UP is the fountainhead of all caste equations in India. And caste card, you have the Muslims definitely gravitating more towards this alliance because of the simple reason that one, they've done well, they have always been a kind of Muslim supporter party, and also they want to see tactically who is in a position to defeat BJP. And then they have the Yadavs, and then they have the OBCs. BJP is also trying to project itself as a OBC party. I mean, so much so that Rajnath Singh's son is yet to get an assurance that he's getting a ticket, but Kalyan Singh's grandson has got a ticket. So, the impression in UP is that BJP is also coming out as an OBC party. So, if the fight is on this kind of turf, then I think Akhilesh is a winner.
Indeed, indeed. Anila Singh, do you want to respond to a couple of those comments that were made, about how the BJP is becoming an OBC party in Uttar Pradesh, and, there is a lot of infighting within the party itself, and it doesn't seem like the BJP is speaking in one voice in Uttar Pradesh.
Before that, I would like to know, who was speaking before me. He was giving a very rosy picture about Akhilesh Yadav. I need to understand who the name of the
my name is Vipul Mudgal, and I'm a journalist by training, and I work for an organization called Common Cause. Okay, which fights for probity in public life.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And let me tell you that even you used a word about the perception. Unfortunately, Samajwadi Party, unfortunately for the people of Uttar Pradesh, I'll say, though they are not taking what Akhilesh Yadav is trying to show, it is a rosy picture which you have given about Akhilesh Yadav and Samajwadi Party for about its development as well as about his character as well. Character, I am talking not on the personal terms, but from the Samajwadi Party's character. Number one, as you said that Akhilesh Yadav has come out of the shadows.
Go ahead, please.
Sure, please.
As you said that Akhilesh Yadav has come out from the shadows of his father or from his uncle. Let me tell you, he could have done this right in the beginning when he was made Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh, but he didn't because he was very much busy with his other work like corruption, or I can say all the goons which work for him. Uttar Pradesh was going into dark ages. He was not bothered. He is not the newborn baby in politics. He had been member of parliament earlier also, and he is a son of one of the finest politicians of the country. So he knows politics in and out. So it was very much like he knew that what he was doing, and he knows what he is doing. Or rather, I will say Mulayam Singh Yadav. He realized that whole of the tenure has gone wasted. Now there is no chances for them to come back in power. So they took help of some strategists which I have come to know, and they have taken up a new plan to come back into power. That is the negative marketing.
Okay.
Negative marketing.
Anila Singh, let's.
This way, like a whole
You're not
drama
answering
had
my
been
question.
created, and since last 6 months, what UP?
You haven't answered my question. What about the BJP? Let's forget about the Samajwadi Party. There's no one from the Samajwadi Party to defend the Samajwadi Party right now. But as far as the BJP is concerned, it seems like a house divided at the moment. It seems like some of your senior leaders are not very happy with what's happening. They're not happy that tickets have not been given to their candidates. So is the BJP united in Uttar Pradesh? Because several of the party cadre also are very disappointed and upset in places like Rai Bareli. So there are a lot of these reports that have come out in the media.
No, this is the perception which has been created by some of the media houses. It is not so. We are very much united, and our senior leadership as well. Whether whatever names you have taken earlier, they all are united, and we are standing together to go ahead in elections and come into power to give good governance to UP.
Okay, fair enough, fair enough. Mohammad Ali Khan, as far as the Congress and the Samajwadi Party is concerned, your leader, Ghulam Nabi Azad, a couple of days ago came out and said that, made an announcement that, an alliance is going to be formed and it's going to be announced any moment now.
Yes.
But that announcement has still not come. It's been 3 days later. I mean, what's happening? Is the alliance final? Are you going to fight it together?
Well, Frank, as things now stand, let me first assure Anila ji that this was not a decision we ran into with haste. This was a carefully considered decision, one that involved sacrificing our own political interest, and one that involved us considering what is best for the people of Uttar Pradesh. And we felt that this brand of bipartisan politics is what is required right now. And Sir was saying that, will the Congress be reduced to a minor player? I don't think so. I think we're going to be equal partners in this partnership, but we're going to arrive at it in such a way that it best reflects the intentions of the people. And whatever role the Congress has to play in that, it doesn't consider it small or large. It considers it the role that must be played right now. Insofar as your question is concerned, Frank, I think you can expect an announcement anytime soon. As you know, these are tricky things. Politics is never this one-dimensional. And while there is a general sense of consensus and agreement, our leaders on both sides are working very hard to achieve a grand bargain. Now, Anila ji spoke about perception and perceptions about Akhilesh ji and so on and so forth. Well, Anila ji, when you speak of development, the only yardstick that Akhilesh ji has to measure up against is that set by the BJP in the last 3 years. And unfortunately, you people have set the bar so low that anyone doing any work is lauded for their development vision. Unfortunately, also, the Vikas or the development that you speak of seems to be bolstered by people like Yogi Adityanath and your other leaders making statements in the making statements that are designed to incite religious passions. And they've been censured by the Election Commission twice, and the campaign has barely begun. Anila ji, your intentions became clear in Assam. They became clear in Bihar when your leaders came out and said, "Agar yahan inki jeet ho gayi, to Pakistan mein patake phatenge." So let's not play this game.
Let's not deviate. Let's not get into any of that, Mohammad Ali Khan.
Fair enough.
Okay, let's not take pot shots at each other.
Right.
But Anila, another question.
No, I can very well answer all the accusations.
Yeah, we are not that kind of a channel, and we are not going to get into that kind of a debate as well. We'll leave that for someone else to do. But, as far as the BJP is concerned, why is it that you haven't announced a chief ministerial candidate for Uttar Pradesh? You did it in Assam, you won. You did it elsewhere in some of the previous states, and you won handsomely. And, the trend or the results of the past show us that if the BJP announces a chief ministerial candidate, the party does well in that assembly election.
See, we are going into assembly election, all right, and every state has got its own requirement. It is on us whether to announce our chief minister face before elections or after elections. It is our matter. It is not the matter of any of the political party or other people. We are going into elections with our agenda, with our mission and vision. We are not going with a face. We are not making any movie or something like that. We require faces. The political party who are face dependent, people have already tested them and they have failed. Samajwadi Party and Congress, they are applauding their objectives, but people have already rejected them. We know it very well. So we are not bending in any way by people saying, or any of the political party aiming us and telling us that you people do not have any chief minister face, how you are going to contest elections and all. So
fair enough.
We are not getting weakened by any of these accusations or whatever they are saying. We have got...
Point taken. Understood what you said. Yes, very quick response. I will get the other panelists
I'll just quickly give a two-sentence response. It's ironic that you're speaking of the fact that you don't use personality-driven politics when you're the ones who created a cult of personality again around the Prime Minister, used him in Delhi, used him in Haryana, used him in Bihar, and now you're seeking to backtrack from your established record and say that you don't do this brand of politics. I think it's coming a little too late.
Fair enough. I'd like to bring in my other panelists. Mr. Tandon, are you surprised by the fact that this time around you've not seen a highly polarized campaign in Uttar Pradesh, or is that yet to come?
I think overall campaign is yet to begin. Whether it will be polarized or development based is yet to be seen. Now, two things I would like to point out first, that it is not that the BJP has won only when they have gone with a face. In Haryana and in Maharashtra also they did not put up any face, but they still won absolute majority, and more surprisingly in Haryana where they have been in a very poor condition. So one thing I would like to mention, which my other friend was saying about Congress. See, I have covered Congress for so many years. See, it has been a national party, it is still a national party. Now, from wherever it has withdrawn or played a second fiddle, it has been disastrous for it from the national point of view. See, long ago they withdrew from Tamil Nadu, look what position is. Now, in Bihar, I can understand because they were non-existent and they had to play the role of a C team rather than a B team, because otherwise they would have been completely wiped out. But don't forget, in Bihar, there were two key players who were number 1 and number 2 in the alliance. And here in UP, where Congress has been the main principal party for years together, now just because to survive or to ensure that the assembly segments under their two top leaders' parliamentary constituency, they don't lose, and otherwise, so therefore it is very sad from Indian politics point of view. I remember in the initial days, Rahul used to argue within the party that whatever may be the consequences, we must build the party and contest alone, whatever may be the outcome. But people get impatient. So they force literally people like Rahul to play a C team in Bihar and not to play a B team or a poor B team in UP. So I am not discussing it from the party politics point of view, from the future of democracy. See, there are hardly national parties left in this country. So what is the status of the national parties today? Everywhere regional parties are dominating. So there are at least 2 national parties, with the left parties also being relegated to a very poor position. Why should Congress go for short-term gains? So and ultimately tell me what will Congress gain if Akhilesh alliance forms the government? They would not like to join the government also, as they have not done in Bihar, because they have a national stature.
Oh, fair enough.
So therefore, I think...
Let the Congress spokesperson respond to what you have said.
Actually, so what you're talking about, I do see where you're coming from. It's been 27 years since the Congress was in power in UP. And, but I think the narrative that you're putting forth, that this is the decimation of the Congress, is unfounded slightly. I'll explain why. We're entering a new age of politics where conciliation is more important than, say, just getting into a black and white fight. The Congress sees this, and the Congress adapts to this changing situation. You're absolutely right. There's no alternative to building up our cadres on the ground. You're absolutely right. And we will continue in that endeavor. But, sir, there are demands that take place on a political party when an election is on us. At that time, we must take a call. How do we best represent the people? Then we find people with a similar ideology, which in this case is the Samajwadi Party. And here, sir, I must tell you, this is not often people say that you're being hypocritical, you were campaigning against them. But, sir, the truth is, Rahul ji, and he's been consistent in this, he's always said that Akhilesh himself is a wonderful human being and he appreciates the work he's doing, but he makes a distinction between him and the 4 uncles. He says that the people he's surrounded with are terrible people and they are the ones causing damage. Akhilesh, having exorcised those demons and having surgically removed them, now presents us with a party who we feel we ideologically compatible
Let's
with.
not forget, it was the same Samajwadi Party leader Mulayam Singh Yadav who prevented Sonia Gandhi from becoming the Prime Minister. So Congress and Samajwadi Party have never been on the same page.
But BJP and Congress both have sided with Mulayam Singh in the past. So I mean, nobody is untouchable in this game. You see, for the Congress, it was like it is losing its cadre. It does not even have a party which was party of Gobind Badla Pant, VP Singh, Kamlapati Tripathi, Narendra Tiwari, the huge leaders who ran Uttar Pradesh. Now
Not
you don't
Uttar
have
Pradesh, the whole country.
The whole country to an extent. They don't have people to run their block offices.
Right.
They don't have anybody to hoist the flag. So for Congress party to do a pillion ride on the bicycle is a lovely idea. I mean, from their point of view. And I think there is no other slogan. Congress has never gone out and defended its own policies. Never I have heard during the elections to say that yes, we defend Narega. It is our baby. We want to see, the social democratic agenda that you have, at least go out there and defend it. But Congress is not doing it. So Congress right now is sitting pretty. But what is to be said about BJP? Why it does not have a chief ministerial face? The moment you announce anybody, you will get into a bigger trouble. Try doing Adityanath, try doing Smriti Irani, try doing Varun Gandhi, try doing Keshav Maurya, who has many other cases. So it is like, you get one and you lose one. So right now, I think the best thing for them is to do the balancing act and see if there is one polarization of Muslims happening in some way, then you hope that there will be another polarization of Hindus. That will happen. But I can see that this time the communal cauldron is not going to work. Probably it's already late for that.
Very true.
Indeed, indeed. The communal cauldron is not going to work, Anila. So is that something that you're going to keep away from? Is the BJP's focus now only going to be development? And is your spearhead in Uttar Pradesh also going to be the Prime Minister Narendra Modi?
And what you want to ask me is that our focus will be on the developmental issues?
Yes, and is your spearhead, and is the person who's going to lead the charge in Uttar Pradesh going to be the Prime Minister Narendra Modi?
The Prime Minister Narendra Modi, definitely he is the leadership of Bharatiya Janata Party. So I do not have to explain here that what he is going to do for his party. That is the internal matter. But what he is doing as a Prime Minister of this country, that matters more. And secondly, a strong leadership is needed to correct the ravages of the bad governance which has been given by Samajwadi Party, and Bharatiya Janata Party has pledged to correct it. We are going to win the elections and we are going to correct everything which has been destroyed by Samajwadi Party, and unfortunately now Congress is also becoming a part of this group, group I'll say, because like feathers flock together, and these political parties, they have got a history of extortion, bad governance, corruption. So Bharatiya Janata Party, definitely we have got our agenda absolutely correct. We are well placed, people know about it, we are going ahead into elections, and we are very much confident that we are going to win in UP and form our government so that the people of UP, which since years together, like BSP and SP, since last 10 years, what they have done, they have simply ravaged UP. So we are going to come into part and correct everything.
All right, fine. The Congress party is stitching up alliances all over the place. Is it everybody else against the BJP and the Congress ensuring that these alliances are stitched up?
Well, as we saw today from the RLD statement and the BSP being on the other side, it's clearly not everybody. It's just the two of us right now. And
that's in Uttar Pradesh.
Yeah, that's in Uttar Pradesh. I mean, as we've always said, we're competent to fight in every state. We're confident of our machinery, and as Sir pointed out, we need to work harder to make our machinery stronger. Now, as other states arise, we'll deal with those later. But one thing I do want to say, Anila ji is speaking, you asked her, will they employ the plank of communalism or will they focus on development? Well, Anila ji, I've recently visited Varanasi as part of the campaign. And I was surprised to see that the people there are still waiting for Prime Minister Modi to deliver on the promises to his home constituency. So I don't know what your brand of development is, but the people of Varanasi haven't seen it yet.
Okay, let's move on and bring in the other party into the picture.
Yeah,
Mr.
you should
Tandon,
go and
the
ask
BSP
Rahul
now.
Gandhi and Sonia Gandhi first
No,
of all.
the BSP now. You know, how big a player is BSP going to be in this election? You know, we've been very quiet about the BSP. There are several people, you know, analysts who have said that BSP has been quietly going around doing its work in Uttar Pradesh as well, and the BSP could spring a surprise this time.
See, it's very unfortunate that we in the media, particularly, they always underestimate BSP because it is not discussed in any panel. Their representatives don't come to discussion, but it has been, you know, active in its own field. And it was a big surprise when she got an absolute majority in Uttar Pradesh. Nobody, no political pundit would give absolute majority to BSP in that election. So, but they have their own pockets, they have their own base, and they have their own style of doing politics. So, Mayawati can never be underestimated, although she lost all the seats in Uttar Pradesh Lok Sabha election, but she is still a force to reckon with in Uttar Pradesh particularly. But I think down the line, when she was evolving her strategy, she was hoping that law and order would continue to dominate the election campaign, and perhaps the shadow boxing or whatever it was happening within the Samajwadi Party would be over, or it will lead to a split. And unfortunately for her, it has not led to a split. And therefore, see, the combination which led her to victory in the earlier election was that she could convince the minority community that with my vote bank, we can win. And in that particular election, she had also got support from very upper castes. But so, this time around, since there is an alliance now, and there is a less vote split now, particularly as compared with other elections, I have a feeling that it will be difficult for her to convince, although she has put up 97 minority community candidates.
Yes, yes.
The formula which she evolved earlier, and also put up a number of Brahmins and others. But the ground situation today is that it may ultimately turn out to be a two-corner contest between this alliance and the BJP, and relegating her to a third position.
Okay, fair enough.
But I have a feeling we still should not underestimate our right of Mayawati, because she has many a time sprung surprises in Indian politics. So therefore, I will not call her a dark horse at this stage, but I will not rule her out at all.
30 seconds, Vipul Mudgal, your closing final comments. And you know, whichever way the minority vote swings, will that party or will that alliance win?
No, I think it will be a triangular contest. I mean, it will not be wise to write her off. She is a very important player. Her core voter is solidly with her. It's just that the lowest of the Dalit voter is shifting. And the other thing is that the minorities have some questions. One of them is, in fact, after Muzaffarnagar, they were like convinced that she is the leader, she is going to do things. But now that has changed. Minorities want to ask her, Madam, will you shake hands with BJP? You know, that's a real question in their mind. And the second question they have is, the way she had gone out of the way to woo Brahmins earlier, she has not shown the same alacrity with the Muslims. She took them almost for granted, and that is what rankles. So I think she has that disadvantage vis-a-vis the other regional party there. But at the same time, in Uttar Pradesh, it is going to be a triangular contest.
Indeed, it's going to be a triangular contest and a very interesting contest, and it remains to be seen what's going to happen. The elections, of course, are just a few days from now. Vipul Mudgal, Ashok Tandon, Anila Singh and Mohammad Ali Khan, thank you so much for joining me on the program and putting things into perspective for us. That's all the time we have. Thank you so much for watching.